Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio joining us, the king of college football talk, hosting 6 to 9 on WNSR. And Bill, how you doing today?
I was just lamenting that there are no Iamaleavas left in East Tennessee or Northwest Arkansas. That's what I was thinking about.
None in the SEC, not at all. And here it was, we thought that this next season, who knew, that maybe you might see a brother against brother game in Knoxville, but nope. Now they're going to be back. One will back up the other, and UCLA has hitched their wagon to the Iamaleava Star. That's an interesting wagon to hitch to. It's talented, though, right?
Yeah. Now, the older one needs to get there and show that talent, and he's shown some flashes of it, but otherwise he's not projecting. That needs to happen this year, and he's not joining. Neither one of them are joining a very good roster.
So, Bill, does this, I guess, who benefits from this more? Does it hurt Tennessee more that they lost their starting quarterback, or does it help UCLA with these two guys they got? Does UCLA have a chance to win 8, 9, 10 games next year?
No. Now, they get better, but they won't. Not in that league. They're the most ill-prepared of all the new teams coming into that league in year two. They came in, and they still are most ill-prepared. Now, here's my answer to Tennessee's angle. They did the right thing, not paying him more than $2,225. That doesn't mean you're better on the field. That's not the same topic. They are not better on the field. They will struggle. They have offensive question marks anyways, and this makes it worse. Now, they are getting the UCLA kid who's transferring to Tennessee, Joey Gunslinger, but they've got major issues on the offensive side of the ball just because they did the right thing.
So, I mean, was this, for Tennessee, was this a matter of principle? Is that why this decision was made? Or was it because the money was already earmarked and it was headed somewhere else? Why did it happen the way that it did?
I think they were talking about it since December. And Tennessee apparently was not going to budge. He had not earned the right for that money to budge. Frankly, he was making way more than his performance. No reason to move it. And then I think Tennessee probably thought they were still in it to some extent to keep the money down where it was until he no-showed on that Friday. And then it got personal, and it was over.
Are we going to get to a point where there's one portal season for football? Because I think it's the only sport where there's a second window for a portal specifically that's tied to, the ability to go out and get yourself a better deal if you think you can. And I just don't think that the system makes sense. To have free agency once a year for everybody still feels like a step too far, but to have it potentially twice a year is a step too far.
They've tweaked it pretty much every year, and I think your suggestion might well happen. I hadn't heard a lot of talk about that, but right now probably not the time they're trying to get the case closed and all of that done, but I could see that happening, yes.
Man, there's so many. All right, let's. I want to ask you about Arch Manning in Texas and Sarkisian, and what kind of should the expectations be? This is his first year. He's going to be starting. We've been talking a little bit about Eli Manning, and who is the worst Hall of Fame quarterback, and you're still in the Hall of Fame. But do we have unrealistic expectations for Arch Manning and this Texas team this year? Can they win it all this year?
I think the team expectations are too much. They have a roster, I would say, in as good a position with talent as any roster in the country, and they're still adding to it. With Arch, I would say there's no way to achieve expectations. There's just not.
Right.
You've got to name everybody that's ever played quarterback with that name in that family is a superstar, not just good. That's hard to live up to.
And then there's TCU and UNC. They're going to open up the season in Ireland, and I thought that was a pretty interesting matchup. TCU having really some success a few years back, UNC with Belichick. Which one of those teams, if you were to say one of them could make the playoff 12, which one of them has a better chance, or which one of them has the better season this first year?
Well, I'm going to start by not answering it directly and saying either one of them comes close.
Either
but
one
if
of
you
them,
want
right.
me to pick one of them, I would say TCU.
Bill, I want to read something to you here, and this goes back to the Madden Iamaleava situation. Hunter Yurachek released a statement. This was a little over an hour ago. I'll just read it to you, and I'll get your reaction. Quote, I have spoken with the leadership team at Arkansas Edge and expressed my support in their pursuit to enforce their rights under any agreement violated by our student athletes moving forward. We appreciate Edge's investment in our student athletes and acknowledge the enforcement of these agreements is vital in our new world of college athletics. We look forward to continued dialogue with all parties in resolving these matters. Unquote. Sounds like an agreement was broken by an athlete who is going into the transfer portal at Arkansas, and I think we know who we're talking about here. So, Bill, what do you think when you hear that statement from the Arkansas athletics director?
I'm not trying to put words in his mouth, but it sounds like he's saying somebody owes us some money.
It sure does. It sure does. There's multiple angles to look at this situation. It's people
Right.
taking advantage of this of the non-system that we have right now, and you can't really fault them for doing that. But if there are broken agreements involved in this and money that was taken that you didn't deserve, well, now we're talking about a different situation. And I'll tell you, I mean, if I'm reading the tea leaves about how the public viewed Nico leaving Tennessee, the public will be in Arkansas's favor here.
Well, and again, I'm just thinking I have no idea the outcome, but if that family can't afford to go to court with Arkansas. I mean, I know they've made a lot of money on the Nico side, but they can't outspend Arkansas if that thing got to court. I don't know what's going to happen there, but I like the AD's wording there.
Hey, Bill, how much will you watch this NFL draft at all? Just is there any favorites, any people you think as far as the college athletes that are about to get drafted? And, it could be the tight end from Penn State. It can be the defensive end from Penn State. I think both those guys are going to have success. Who is the Brock Bowers this year? Who's the guy that's going to come in and you think could win Rookie of the Year?
Well, if he can stay healthy, and it's not that he's injury-prone per se, but he's just so slight as Travis Hunter. He's a dynamic, I think you could call him a generational-type talent. If he can hold up, he's the guy. He's dynamic on any field. I don't care what the other athletes are. He's going to be as good as any of them immediately. But that would be the one. I don't like the quarterbacks as it pertains to some kind of stardom. And I won't watch it. I will absorb it through osmosis because every TV in the house other than where I'm at will have it on. I've got 5 boys. They'll absorb every round of it more than me. So I'll know what happens at the top just by virtue of, again, osmosis.
I'm with you with that. I think Travis Hunter is a generational talent. What side of the ball? Phil and I were talking a little bit about that last week, and you'll have different packages for him. I don't think it's sustainable. You look at Shohei Ohtani and what he was trying to do. It's just at that level how competitive it is to play every single snap. It's not saying he's not talented and you don't have packages for him, but which side of the ball do you think he impacts the most?
I think it's harder to be a sticky corner than maybe do anything else in football, and that's what he is. He's a dynamic receiver. You mentioned it. You can't play him two ways. He doesn't have the body for it, and it would be difficult even if he was 6'3", 210, right? But to me, I think you're more valuable as a sticky corner if you are indeed that good.
Bill, I'm going to bring your two favorite college sports together here to finish in college baseball and college football because Texas has a kid who's a 5-star cornerback who should be in high school still that is playing baseball for them. And he and Sark and Schloss worked it out where he's a baseball player first and foremost. His name is Jonah Williams, and he's probably going to be Texas's left fielder for the foreseeable future after Max Bellew's injury. He had a huge, I think it was a couple of games, if not just one game last weekend in Texas's sweep. Jonah Williams. This is a two-way guy, baseball, football, and you were just talking cornerbacks. He's a cornerback for Texas too, and 5-star, and he's playing 2 sports.
Amazing. What kind of athlete you have to be to do that is beyond description. And I would imagine if he's that good in baseball, that's probably a better career. Now, I don't know what the upside there is because I haven't watched him enough, but that's an incredible story. They've also got, as we know, a stud freshman pitcher.
Yeah, the lefty Volantis. We'll see them next week. You get, hey, are you going to watch A&M in Texas? Like, I've got Arkansas, Florida to call, so I don't know if I'll be able to watch much Longhorns, Aggies. But if you're talking, especially because we saw A&M last week, they're back to looking like they were last year. Like, that's appointment viewing. That should be a really fun series.
I will have that one on, no doubt about it. Tennessee's down at LSU. Tennessee is not playing well right now. This is a team that's had, I bet, 18, 20 bases stolen on them the last couple of games. It's that bad.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing, and we're into the home stretch for NBA and NHL playoffs. BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from the MLB, NHL, and UFC, BetOnline remains the number one online source for all your sports wagering information. In between games, head over to BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here.